talking about the ban list that just got dropped today. I know it's all late at night. It's 12 in the morning, but I've been working the entire time. So this is the only chance I have to actually be fully awake and engage with you guys to talk about the ban list. So instead of doing a reaction because I've already seen the ban list, we're going to be talking in depth of how each card is going to affect the game, not infect the game. It's totally different. But for you Pendulum players, I feel so sad for you because that means you have to remove at least 9 cards out of your deck. You have to remove the Double Irises, the Pendulum Sorcerers, the Skull Corbat Jokers, and a Duelist Alliance, because Duelist Alliance isn't as good. So that being said, let's just jump right into it. So Blackwing go for the Vague Shadow, and I'm actually gonna lump Dandelion to this because they're kind of two of the same thing. If Blackwing Gofu didn't get hit, if Blackwing Gofu got hit and Dandelion did not, guarantee you would see Dandelion in every deck, just replacing Gofu. Yeah, so both of them are kind of two things. They're the same coin, realistically. Even though Dandelion is a little bit slower because you have to physically send it to the graveyard, and that's it's not hard to do. It's just not as fast as Gofu is, because Gofu, you just have a turn when you just make your rank 3. That's pretty powerful, and both of them are quintessentially the same thing. But Gofu is kind of a stranger one because I think the card is actually fine at 1. I also really shocked that Scapegoat isn't on this list at all. That card's still rampant at 3, so you're going to be seeing that card definitely at 3, being played in most decks. So do keep that in mind. We do have counters to it though, so it's not that big of a deal, I think. So I think either way, these two cards should be banned because one, Dandelion has an entire deck based around an FTK, and Gofu is just Gofu. Gofu is just immediately insane. Again, we're gonna lump 2 cards again: Double Iris and Skull Corbat Joker. Double Iris is really dumb. It's not a hard one to turn, and it searches one of the most broken traps in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That being said, I think other than that, like if it wasn't for the fact that Pendulums was so strong, this card would ultimately be fair. If Electromagnet wasn't a card, the deck would probably still be okay. It would be fair. So. Plus, it's an 8 scale. Skull Combat Joker just searches your entire deck. There's not a single card in Perform House except for the Pendulum Gas. There's not a single monster in your deck that this card cannot summon search. So it's really stupid. Levelier, we all knew this was going to happen. If you asked me a year ago if Levelier should be banned, I would have said no, it shouldn't be banned. But I did say a year ago that's all to change. So, and it still is. Maxi, I'm kind of sad that Maxi's at 0, but I kind of understand why. This card either it needs to exist at 0 or 3. I'm personally in the camp that it needs to be at 3, but that's neither here nor there. It really kind of doesn't make sense why they're banning it, because we are getting Designator from the grave literally in 1 month. So I don't think this ban is really necessary all that much. In fact, I think it's more of an argument for it to be at 3 because of that card. But that being said, it's kind of a false equivalence because you can't have just because there's counters to a card doesn't mean it's not broken. But Maxi I think is fair in my opinion. So, and Apocalypse Towers. I think Clay Forts do have a serious chance of being one of the best decks. I think honestly it does. Because Apocalypse Towers is a strong card, even though we have outs to it, we have kaijus and stuff like that. But again, with that false equivalency with Maxi, just because there are outs to it doesn't mean it's not broken. Vandy's Emptiness has countless outs, but it's still broken. However, I think Apocalypse Towers is less broken than a lot of the cards on the ban list, so I actually was okay with this going to 1. Ground Golem, I don't really need to explain this card, but I think you probably still need to play 1 in every deck. I think you're going to be playing one in at least in every deck. Perform Damage Juggler. This card is really dumb. It's actually kind of good. I think it might actually replace Maxi in a lot of ways in certain decks. If you're playing Brilliant Fusion, you're definitely replacing Maxi with this card. So you got your thing here. Why is Rapier still at 1? Rapier is relatively harmless at 2 without the boss monsters that are currently banned. Another card that kind of doesn't need to be on this list anymore is where is it? Where is it? Are these two cards right here? These cards don't need to be on this list, but they're still here. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. Firewall Dragon, fair enough. Oh yeah, Ritual Conduct. This card needs to be a 1. This card needs to be a 3, like right now. Please, Konami, fix this. But Firewall Dragon, it's stupid. It's insane. It's the best Link 4 in the game, and it still is. It still is. But that's okay. Playing 1 is okay, and that's really the intention of extra deck monsters in most cases, unless you're Dante. You play 2, or you play 3 Dante, but other than that, you just really kind of just leave it alone. Monster Reborn is really interesting. Monster Reborn is at 1. I honestly think it should be at 1. I don't think it should go any higher than 1. Granted, this card is really insane, but we have actually more cards that are actually more insane than Monster Reborn actually coming out. And there are actually cards that are on this list that are more insane than Monster Reborn in the current state of the game. But Monster Reborn, it's good. You're gonna see it in every deck. They spent literally a month promoting it, for putting it in the Lost Arts. So there's no reason why this card isn't going to be on at 1. I really hope this card does stay though at 1, because it's doing almost nothing in the OCG. So Spiral Resort, this card's dumb. Spiral Resort is not a once per hard once per turn. It also makes your terraforming so much more valuable if you're playing Spiral still, because that means you have to see, if you don't see Spiral Resort, you kind of lose the game. And it also makes your master plans more dead if you open up the Spiral Resort. So Solemn Judgment, I'm glad this card's at 1. This is a very skillful card. And anyone who says it's not needs to go actually look up what the term skillful means. Skillful. This card is really skillful because in the right hands, this card is really devastating, and in the wrong hands, it's really, really good, really bad. Paying half your life points to stop something really stupid is not very good. So in the hands of a really good player, this card is going to be really amazing. You'll see this in every deck. Nothing on the similar limits, so there's nothing to talk about. There is a lot on the unlimiteds. So Artifact Moral Attack. I actually think this is scary. 1, because Artifacts is already kind of an engine, and that people can splash it. You can splash this in ABC. You can splash 3 Moral Attack and 2 Scythe and 2 Sanctums in this deck, and it's really insane. It's really, really insane, actually. Granted, we do have Hatronade, so that card kind of discounted this a little bit. We also have other outs to it. They're level 5s. We have another card that's on this list that we're going to get into that I think will probably go back to 1 relatively quickly, but we'll see. But Artifact Moral Attack is actually kind of scary because of the fact that it reacts so perfectly with the rest of with ABC, and ABC is going to be one of the top 10 contenders, even though Strixer is going to be the best deck. I think ABC is going to be top tier. But Artifact Moral Attack is really stupid. This card, BLS is not good anymore, sadly. The Mighty have Fallen. Though that being said, I think at some point this card will be really dumb, but we'll see. Card Trooper. I think the only deck in the current game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That will actually make this work is Infernoids. You just play 3 Machine Dupe and 3 Card Trooper. And it's kind of tricky too, because if you open up 2 Card Troopers, the Machine Dupe is dead. So it's kind of okay. You might actually also see this in Light Swords. So, Fede Kimura, I've been claiming for this card to be a 3 for the longest time. It's not that good. Granted, in a search heavy format, this card will actually see play though. Bryonek doesn't care. I don't care. Brain Control don't care. No Shadow Fusion. We don't have Construct, so we don't care. Future Fusion can be scary, but we'll see. Mind Control. This is the card that I was talking about that is kind of better than Monster Reborn, because Monster Reborn takes the card out of the graveyard, but there's counters to the card in the graveyard. You can decry your own card and banish it for the graveyard. And granted, that's not as good, but I mean, it's still an out, and it's better than your opponent getting the monster. Mind Control, however, even though there are cards that don't target, that can be targeted, this card's still going to be a force to be reckoned with. You just take your opponent's Link monsters, and you just link something with them. It's really, 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 really dumb. So, Vibration of Rights. Unless you're playing Vendrits, this is not relevant. Sacrifice again. I think Cleaverts have a legitimate chance because they have 3 Sacrifice now. Granted, Scout still is at 1, but still that doesn't change anything. I think Scout being at 1 is fine. You have other cards that are really good. Bottomless Trap Hole. This card's dumb. But I think you won't see this main deck. You'll see 2. You might see 2, maybe 3 side decked, because it is actually still pretty good. And against certain matchups, I think against certain specific matchups, I think Lycoris is 1500 or more. So you might see that just to counter that card. I'm not sure though. I don't remember. It might be less. I'm not entirely sure. Ceasefire. This card is kind of just a cheese card. So, Geometry, because this card's awful. Giving your opponent 3 tokens to link someone with is really bad. Even if they take damage, that link monster is going to give them so much more advantage anyway. So this card's absolute trash. And Torrential Treatment, calling it right now. In 6 months to a year, this card will probably be back at 1. And if I don't, I will eat my words. But the reason why I say that is because they kind of sort of negated their own statement because. They put Darkhold to 1 last format, and then now 6 months later they're giving us Torrential Tribute to 3, which is kind of just basically saying, hey, you could play you have 6 board wipes now that are actually good. So if you're counting Kaiju Slumber, so I honestly think this is really insane of a card. You're gonna be seeing this. Maybe you might actually see this main decked in every deck. At least in 2 ofs. I think you could make an argument that you play 2 side 1 or you play 3. So you're going to be seeing this in every deck. I think against specifically, I think you could play this in like a True Draco deck, and it would actually be really insane because you tribute a trap card and then you play Torrential Tribute on the summon of the monster of the True Draco of Masterpiece, and then you just blow up the entire board, and then you just get free swings because the card's dumb. So I honestly think Torrential is going to be really cancerous. But long gone are the days that you could just summon freely. So because we have Bottomless Trap Hole at 3 and Torrential Tribute. The sad thing is we don't have Compulse at 3 or Book 'em in at 3. Both of those cards are bad, but that's whatever. So anyway, cards that I would like to actually see on this list that I would have personally changed is, why is this here? And why is Royal Magical Library not here? Why? I don't get this. Butterfly Dagger Elma is a very bad card, but yet it's the only reason why it's here is because Royal Magical Library is here. In fact, if we had Royal Magical Library at 0, we could probably take off some of these cards on this list because of how dumb Royal Magical Library is. We could just. It keeps so many more cards banned. It erratas more cards. Also, I'm also curious as to why they didn't put Trench or Tribe Effective Virus to 1. Tribe Effective Virus is not that good anymore. So I honestly think it'd be fine at 1. Shirt. Actually, this card could probably go 3 and 1 matter. Shirt. Shirt could he come back? I honestly think it should come back at some point. So we'll see. But also, I wouldn't have hit Performance Pals right off the bat so hard. My argument was that if they're going to hit the deck, they should just put Astrograph to 1, because Astrograph is actually the problem. And now I can play an Astrograph in Metaphos, but neither here nor there. I would have put Scapegoat to 1, or if not, ban it. I would just ban a Scapegoat, but it's not on here, so people are going to be playing with the Scapegoat. Other changes, I would put Tribe Dust Street to 1, because that card's not good. Other cards, I would love to see. I would love to see some of these cards that are just not here. They're just not doing anything at 3. Like, I would like to see Raigeki. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't want to see Raigeki at 3. Oh my god, that would be dumb. Like Draco Phase, that card's not doing anything. I would like to see that card at 3. Basically, that's pretty much just basically it. Draco Phase off and I guess I guess this card too. This card can come back to 3 probably. Also, this card, this card, and this card. I don't know why Mathematician's even still here. But, no, I would like to see a Compulsion becoming also go back to 3. There's no reason for those cards to go back to be a 1 at all. Honestly, all we're missing now is just Metamorphosis, and we can play Go format now. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, please leave the comment section in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Chithonian Lance, and I'll be signing out.